Considering that it's a pre-election budget, it needed to be people-friendly, and I think it has tried to tick all the right boxes. It has reached out to the four castes that the Prime Minister has been identifying, namely the poor, the youth, farmers, and women. It has also tried to reach out to the middle classes with its tax remission scheme and more housing for the urban poor. For women, it has promised covering Anganwadi and Asha workers under the health insurance scheme and encouraging a vaccination program for cervical cancer.
For the rural and the agriculture, there are basically two standout points. The first is the promise to build 2 crore more houses in the rural areas over the next 5 years. This is over and above the 3 crore houses already built by the Narendra Modi government since it came to power in 2014-15. And also the allocation has been kept at for Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin has been kept at around 80,000 crore, which is same as which is higher than the revised estimate of FY24, but same as the budget estimates of FY24, which also means that the government's focus on building tangible rural assets continues as it has been in the past. The second standard point obviously is the higher allocation for Manrega, which in FY25 is almost 86,000 crore, much higher than the BE of FY24, but same as the RE of FY24. But the flip side here is that higher allocation for Manrega is reflective of a continued weakness in the rural jobs market.
Ever received an income tax notice? I have. Therefore, I appreciate the Finance Minister's proposal to resolve tax disputes at two levels. Of course, the amount is important. 25,000 rupees for disputes up to FY10 and 10,000 from FY11 to FY15. But trust me, if you go through the process, a time will come when you will say, I will happily pay 10,000 if you spare me the process, because the process becomes the punishment. And some of these disputes go back to 1962. Oh, it's a relief. Trust me, I have been through it.
The Finance Minister in her budget has announced that close to 40,000 railway bogies would be upgraded to the Vande Bharat standards. This means that these trains would be faster, would be safer, and given that they would be running at higher speed, it will also decongest the existing railway network. That means that as a railway passenger, you would reach faster to your destination and there would be a reduction in the delays of trains. The Finance Minister has announced 3 economic corridors which would have enhanced railway connectivities. This is for energy, cement and the mineral sector, which are one of the highest railway users. This would also help in decongesting the railway network in these industrial corridors. Another very interesting announcement is for all the green energy enthusiasts. Now you can set up a solar rooftop in your house and get subsidy from the government.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman surprised everybody by announcing an aggressive fiscal deficit target of 5.1% for FY25 in the interim budget that she presented. This was because most economists were expecting fiscal deficit to be set at around 5.3%. Matched by this, she also announced lower borrowing program for FY25. This will help the government reduce its borrowing cost in the financial year. Not only that, the Finance Minister said that she will overachieve the fiscal deficit target for the current fiscal year, which is FY24, at 5.8% rather than 5.9% that she had promised last year. However, some economists also believe that the government may have kept some leg room for more pre-poll announcements before the elections, so that in the final budget, which the next government will present in July, the government may increase the fiscal deficit by around 0.2 percentage points.
Biggest surprise in this budget is that she chose not to provide adequately increased amounts to many of the welfare schemes that the government holds very dear to. For the Prime Minister Kisan scheme has got the same amount of money. If you look at the Narega, has got little more for the current year only, but not for the next year.
86,000 crore.
Yeah, that's for the current year, and for next year is the same amount.
RE,
same amount. So I and even if you look at the many other schemes, there is a very, very token increase that has been given for next year.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
He's making plans for an early retirement. Business Standard.